Okay, it is the moment of truth. Got the exhaust hose connected. The shower head is installed properly. Carburetor's on. The fuel pump is, I had to take it apart and clean the valves, but it's working like a champ now. So, theoretically, this thing should start. Let's see. I should mention the governor isn't hooked up, and I took the belt, the water pump drive belt off because until it starts, I don't want to fill the water lift muffler with raw water, not just yet. So the governor linkage is just about done. I need to cut it to size, but first I need to figure out where it idles and what direction the governor moves in when it's running at 1800 RPMs. That's something I'm going to have to just manually work the throttle on this. But anyway, let's give it a go. Not sure what the problem is here. It sounds like it wants to go, but when the engine starts to catch, I believe it's called the exciter, the starter mechanism basically, cuts out. Sounds like it's getting close. Come on, damn it. guessing it's badly flooded. Let's take it apart, see what we can find out. Alright, so spark plug number 1 is just glistening wet. So definitely flooded. Got some heat in this one. Definitely temperature here. So that cylinder was firing. Number 1 was not. Number 4 was. But pretty black. This one doesn't look bad. A little black. Feels a little bit warm, so this is getting some heat. Okay, so the plugs are back in, and I tightened the jets quite a bit. The jets on the carburetor were way too far open, or the adjustment screws were way too far open. So we'll see if that changes the way this thing's running or not running. I'm stumped. That really sounds like it wants to start. And we're blowing a bunch of, looks like gas out the exhaust port. So this gasket is shot. Great. Back to the drawing board. Well, I decided to consult the Bible to try and figure out why the genset seems like it wants to start, but it's just not running. So fortunately, I've got all the technical literature for this model, and what I've found is that we've got the engine firing order, 1342, of course, 4-cylinder, shielded magneto, which is what I've got, plug 1 is on the lower right side, then, and the rotation, you can tell by the arrow, is counterclockwise. Plug 3, so it's 1, 3, 4, 2. And when I look at the magneto, you can see that this is plug 1, or sorry, this is wire 1, going to plug 2. 1, 3, 4, 2. So this plug wire should be here. This one should be on cylinder 2. 1, 3, 4, and 3 and 4 are in the right place. That's why it almost ran, almost started, but just wouldn't get up and go. So I'm going to relocate those spark plug wires, and I also cleaned up the exhaust gasket because it was leaking a little bit of raw gasoline out the exhaust port here, which told me that if it's leaking gasoline, because these two cylinders weren't firing correctly, it's also going to leak exhaust gases, and this is a gas engine, so we don't want to die from carbon monoxide poisoning. And in cleaning it up, which I should have done initially anyway, I found it's solid copper. I also put it on a plate that I've got in my garage and discovered that it's not flat. Now you'd think that the iron exhaust manifold here and the riser head also, actually this is bronze, you'd think that those would be able to push or crush the copper gasket and make it flat, but it doesn't. So I'm just going to use some high temp silicone to seal this, and then I think we'll be ready to test fire. Be back in a minute. Oh, and in my own defense, the plug wires were in position when we bought the boat. I only ever removed one of them. When I was doing the compression test, I was just pulling one at a time. So, yeah, I'm guessing the previous owner maybe transposed those two. And it could be, the records I've got on the boat indicate that this didn't run when he bought the boat, and he tried to make it go. So it could be that it didn't run when he got the boat because someone before him, and this would have been in the 1990s or earlier, put those two spark plug wires in the wrong spot. On the upside, it's an easy thing to fix, and this genset only has 300 hours on it, so, you know, it kept it from being used, which might be a positive too.